Country Wood Girl. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a plain, simple shelf. It's really easy, really simple, so hopefully you too will be able to make one. So let's get started. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to get 2 pieces of wood. Here I'm using burr elm, so I'm going to use the waney edge. You want to need to get a long ruler or a straight edge. I'm just using a straight bit of timber. And you want to mark where the back of your shelf wants to be. So you need to roughly know how wide you want it to be. And then it's best just to mark your waist. I'm using the bandsaw to cut the waist off, so just run it through. And there you have it, the waist is gone. Next I cut it to length, just a rough length at the moment. And again, get rid of the waist. Okay, and then to the planer. You want to flatten both your pieces of timber, just one side. So just keep pushing it over until it's flat. I've got it set to taking 1 mil off, but you could have it set to taking 2 mil off. That's one done. I think I changed it to 2 mil here. It was a bit more twisted than what I thought it was. And there you can see it's almost flat. Final pass through and it's nice to go underneath. Our planer lifts up for the thicknesser underneath. I use just normal wood polish, surface polish, an old rag, and buff off the machine, which makes the wood not stick in it and makes it glide through easy. Okay, so it's really important to make sure you know what the maximum thickness you've got at the moment. You wouldn't want to put something under the planer which is too thick. So I check for my thickest part. And I raise the planer up to that thickness. Which was 32. Start it up and put it through. You want the grain pointing backwards and up because that's the way the blades are going to be cutting to avoid tear out. And I change it in increments of 2mm. I speed this bit up as it's just going on in and out, in and out. take it down on the planer to 21mm. My final thickness is going to be 20mm, so I take the last mil off with the sander. I start with a 120 belt, but then move down to a 180 belt. Now it's time to straight edge the side. Now because I'm using Waney edge, I don't need to put it through the saw to parallel it, but if you were to use straight edge, you would want to do that just so your shelf was parallel. Or you could do a nice shape on it and curve it, or whatever you'd like. And you'll want to do it with your other piece as well. This smaller piece is going to be the batten. It's going to be fixed to the wall. Now you want to decide on how long your shelf wants to be. It's a good idea to check that your saw's cut in square as well. I set my stop and push it through. Setting stop's a really good idea because the batten that will go underneath the shelf will be exactly the same length. That was a pretty good shot. Right, next we're going to want to joint it together. I use dominoes. This is by Festool, this dominoer, and it basically just makes a hole for little pieces of wood to go in. You could just route a strip, a 6mm cutter down it, and get a bit of 6mm ply and glue it in. Just any way of jointing. Some people call them biscuits, but yeah. Then I give it a good sand. I sand through up until 320 grit. And then I just check it will go together fine. I use tape to tape by the joint, so if there's any glue spillage, it won't sink into the wood. And then I glue it. I use Type 1-3 to glue. And cramp it together. I clean the glue off underneath with a toothbrush because it's really handy to get into the little corners. I leave that for 2 hours and take the cramps off and sand it up. I hand sand the corners with 320 grit just to make sure there's no water or glue marks. And then a final sand. And now you can see the shelf is done, all it needs is oil. I used an oil called Timbertect. It's really hard wearing, really good finish, and you just wipe it on, wipe it off. Really easy. I gave it 3 coats in total, just to make sure it was hard wearing. And that's the shelf done.
So there you have it, the shelf has been made. Now, as I say, this one I've done with a waney edge timber, but you could use something straight. So waney edge just means the bark's left on, so it's all bumpy and wavy. But you could just have it completely cut along here and have it straight and made out of any timber you want. Now, fixings, basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill straight through wherever the studs are in the wall. However, you could get, they're called keyhole fixings, so they're round and you simply just drill them in the back, put a screw in the wall, put it on, hook it down, and it's fixed as well. So that's another way of doing it if you didn't want to see the fixings. But I hope you enjoyed the video, so please give me a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you again.